Aloha, Richard Halverson here. This is ICS321, and today I'd like to work on the last two assignments, assignment 6 and assignment 7. So let me share my screen. Okay, so let's go to the assignments, and we need to do. We actually have to do all of assignment 6 before we do assignment 7. Assignment 6 is creating a database from this table here. And assignment, and we have to create a trigger and a add place store. Not sure you need, well, anyway, I'm just going to do the creating the database part. And I think you can, the videos to create the trigger and the stored procedure are pretty good. There's a link here. You can go look at those. But we need to have a database there before we can do assignment 7. Assignment 7 is creating these application programmer interfaces using application programmer interfaces. That might sound confusing, and when we get to this, I'll explain a little bit more. So let's go to assignment 6 and let's create this database. I've logged in into my Joe Schmo account. Oh, wait. Is this the right Joe Schmo account? I was going to look at the other one. Let me see. I have two Joe Schmo, different spellings. JSC Joe Schmo. See if I can get into this one. Oh, I got into this Joe Schmo. Okay, I think I'd rather use this Joe Schmo. This is the one without the C. The one with the C. This is the website with the C. Okay. So if we look at let's look at phpMyAdmin. We can see what databases we have in there. It's been a while since I've logged into this account, and we can see we've got some from assignment, assignment 2, and then this Garden Glory. We need to see campus, the campus database. So let me go back to C. I'm gonna close this. Go back to cPanel, and I tell you what, let's go look at the assignment. In the assignment, we're supposed to create, okay, so we start out with this fictitious table here, or spreadsheet, however it's being kept. And the idea here is that for whatever campus you're on, these places are the favorite places by cuisine for a campus. And so they've done some sort of survey, and the students for burgers, the students at KCC prefer this place. At UH Manoa for Italian food, they like this place, you know, whatever. I ate at Surge's recently, and they're pretty good. So the trouble with this database is it's not in BCNF. Why is it not in BCNF? It's because the cuisine is determined by the place. The place determines the cuisine. The cuisine is dependent on the place. And so we have a key attribute, a key column that is, that's what that rubbing is. Sounds like I'm sniffing in the video. Is determined by the place itself. So a partial key attribute is determined by a non-key attribute. So it's not in BCNF, because you can't have that in BCNF. So we want to convert this 3NF table into a BCNF database. And so let's do that. And we're supposed to call the database campus, all uppercase. So let's start out by creating a database called campus, all uppercase, MySQL databases. And I'm going to call this campus, C-A-M-P-U-S. Uh-oh, where am I typing? Let's try again, C-A-M-P-U-S. All right, create database. Okay. Database is created. Go back. Do I need to do anything else? I don't think I need to do anything else. I'm going to just use my own username and password, my overall Joe Schmo email username and password, but you can create a separate one if you want, if you're worried about security. Normally, you probably would do that. I don't think that'll be any better. All right, so let's go back to this is the database here. Let's go back. Let's just go up here, click up here, get back to cPanel, and now let's look at phpMyAdmin. And we should see our database, campus. Okay, so click on campus, and we see there's no tables. All right, so we're going to want to upload a table. Well, what's the easiest way to upload a table? Let's see. I'm going to open up Excel, EXC, and a blank workbook. And I'm going to, no, not now. I'm going to copy this like this. Copy. Then I'm going to go over to Excel and I'm going to click up here. Let's make this bigger so we can see what we're doing. Click here, right click. I'm going to paste this one, which is just the values. And here we go. Here's this nice table. I'm going to double click right here, selected all the columns, double click to expand them out. This is what our nice table looks like. Let's save this. Save as, and I'm gonna put it on my desktop. Just gonna throw it on my desktop. Here's my oh look, I have an ICS321 folder on my desktop. I'll put it in there, and I'm gonna name this. I'm gonna save it as a comma delimited CSV, comma separated values, comma delimited. Could use this one here. Well, I'm gonna use this one. And I'm going to name it campus, campus.csv. Okay. Now I have campus on my day. Okay, so now I'm done with this. Away with you. And I'm going to go over here and I'm in my campus table database, and I'm going to click import. And I'm going to browse into my desktop ICS321, and oh look, there's campus. Click on that. Opens up. It knows it's CSV. Its columns are separated with a comma. You can separate columns with a tab. That's a common column separator. Now, it's important that we click this. The first line of the file contains table column names. It's important you click that. Go. And we see now it's all inserted in there. It's called table 1. Here, this page here, it's called table 1. Let's click on operations, no, options. Well, anyway, let's click on options right here. And we're going to rename the table original. What does it say we're supposed to name the table? I add the above table and name it original. So I'm going to copy this name, and right here I'm going to paste it in its original. Okay, now it's important to make all your tables, the storage engine be INNODB, because INNODB is has row level locking, supports transactions, it supports foreign keys. The default does not support foreign key. No, it supports foreign key. It doesn't enforce foreign key constraints like INNODB does. So select INNODB and click go. And now the table is renamed. See, it's renamed over here. It's renamed up here. And it looks like this. Here's our table. Now is a good time to put in the to specify the primary key. We should specify and the column types. We should name the column types. So we want campus. We want okay, there's 3 fields. We look at the structure. We see this is varchar 4, varchar 10, varchar 27. We want to change them to varchar 10, 25, and 50. Okay, so let's do that. I can just click on this. Dun, 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 and when selected, I want to change. And I want to change it to 10, 25, 50, 10, 25, and 50. Does it say anything else? No, it doesn't say anything else. Okay, so it doesn't say about nulls or anything. So we'll just leave them. It's not nulls. You got to be careful when you allow nulls, but we'll just leave this like this. I don't think we're going to run any problems. Okay, so click save. And the primary key is going to be both campus and cuisine, right? Just like this. Campus and cuisine. These together make up the composite primary key. So I'm going to click primary. All right, it worked. So now I have my original table. The types are specified, the field types are specified, and the key is specified. I can actually stop here, and when I go and do assignment 7, I can change the SQL statement to search. I can change it a little bit, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish normalizing this table into 3 BCNF tables, and then the select statement that is given to you in assignment 7 will be the right one for this database. So to do that, I'm gonna you're going to decompose the table using projections into 4 new tables. You want a campuses table, you want a cuisines table, you want a place cuisines table, and you want a campus places table. Okay, these 2 tables are just tables which hold which campus, what the valid campuses are and what the valid cuisines are. And then after that, you start putting places in, and a place and when you put a place in, you're also putting in the cuisine of the place, and the cuisine you put in has got to be a valid cuisine. And then you're going to start attaching these places to campuses, and the campus has to be a correctly specified campus by being in this campuses table. So it's easy just to decompose this original table into these 4 tables. So let's do that. I'm going to break this out. Break it out and put it down here. So I can refer to what we're doing. And up here, I'm going to okay, so here's the tables. So I'm going to do what's the best way to do this? What's the best way to do this? I think I'm going to create the tables, create empty tables, and then I'm going to do an insert into the empty tables, into each empty table. So I'm going to create empty tables to start with. So so first of all, I'm going to make a copy of this. I'm going to do operations on the original, and I'm going to copy tables. I'm going to copy a table called, and I'm only going to copy the structure. Just going to copy the structure, and I'm going to make one called campuses. Campuses. Okay, and I'm going to make one called cuisines. Gonna make sure it's all capital, right? The same case. Cuisines, just the structure. And then I'm going to make one called place cuisines. Place cuisines, that's okay. Underscore is okay. And structure only. And I'm going to make a fourth one called campus places. Campus places, that's this last one. It's going to have two columns. Structure, okay. There, now I've created all the tables. You see them all over here. And so let's start with campuses. Campuses is empty. We're going to go to the structure and I'm going to campus. I only want the campus in there. So I'm going to delete this and delete this. Drop. That's campuses. Yes, I really want to do that. So now I just have one column. It's fine. And so now I'm going to import. I'm going to do a projection from the original. And it doesn't matter where I am, but I'm just going to go edit line and I'm going to do, I want to just select campus from original, distinct. I want to distinctly select distinct campuses and I want to insert into campuses. This might work. It did. So now when I click on campuses, we see the three campuses. And we already have, this is primary key, that's fine. Okay, so now let's do cuisines. Go back to original, and I'm going to edit this line, and I'm going to say insert into cuisines, select distinct cuisine from original. Go. Doing this right? Oh, no, I'm done. I'm not doing this right. I got to go back to cuisines first. Yes, I do want to get rid of that. I forgot. I gotta make the table specifications correct first. Okay, so I got to get rid of all these extra columns that I don't need. Cuisines, I only need this column. I only need the cuisine column, so let's drop that. Yes. And in the campus places, go to structure. And campus places would be campus and place, so I get rid of cuisine. Get rid of cuisine, drop. And the primary key for campus place has got to be both of these. Place, yeah, no, because there can be, yeah, it's got to be both campus and place. So this is the primary key. Yes, I do want to do that. Okay, so that's campus place cuisines. Okay, for place cuisines, we have place and cuisine, so I can get rid of campus, drop. And for place cuisines, place is the primary key, not cuisine. There can be many places with the same cuisine, but there cannot be, but a place can only be one cuisine. So I'm going to make this the primary key. Okay, so I think I've got them all. And, you know, I just let you know a little secret. If you want to go directly to structure, you can click this little icon thing to the left of the table name. So let me go down the line here. Campuses looks good. Campus places looks good. Cuisines looks good. Original is original, and place cuisines looks good. Campuses is already populated. Campus places is not yet populated, so let's populate that. Insert into campus places. select distinct. Might not need distinct, but I'm gonna put it there anyway. Campus place. Hope this works. Okay, so I have to keep the order matters. So I think campus was first, campus, cuisine, and place. Okay, so this is the right order. Yes, this is the right order. Let me see if this works. I should have done the I should have connected up the foreign key constraints first. I hope I'm able to do it. You should connect. But before you start populating the tables, you should do the foreign key constraints first, because then if you end up putting in data that you shouldn't put in, in fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take out all the data. I'm going to put the foreign key constraints in there, and then I'm going to populate the tables. So I'm going to go back here. Oh, no wonder I did this wrong anyway. Okay, so campuses. Okay, campuses is that. Campus places has not been populated. Cuisines has not been populated. Original has place cuisines. Okay, so the only thing that's populated is campuses. I'm going to try to connect up the foreign key constraints first. So, okay, campuses by itself. Campus places. I got to hit the structure. Campus, go to relation view, column campus in this database is connected to campuses, campus. And does it say how we want to do these constraints? A change to the name of a campus, cuisine, or place can change. Makes sense. And the change will propagate. Okay, so I guess I got to propagate all these things on delete. So if I delete a campus, if I delete a campus, I want to delete all the places. So I'm gonna propagate all these. Cascade. Okay, that connects in campus places. That connects campus to the campuses table. I want to connect the place. I want to connect the place to the place cuisines table. Yes. Cascade. That's right. And so, okay, that takes care of the foreign key constraints for campus places. There's also some foreign key constraints for place cuisines. And that is the cuisines has to be in a relation view. Cuisine has got to be in the cuisines table. And I'm going to propagate this, cascade this. Places, place cuisines. I think that's all the foreign key constraints I need. Yeah, well, okay. All right, so now let's populate them. Okay, campus is already populated. Campus places can be populated, and remember, it all comes from original. So in fact, why don't I just go to original and do it from here? Let's go see all the, because this way I see the order. Oh, by the way, the order of place cuisines is cuisine is first and place is second. Okay, you got to remember that. Cuisine is first, place is second. So let's go to original. And let's do that one first, place cuisines. So I want to insert into place cuisines, select, and cuisines is first, remember, we've got to do distinct. Distinct cuisine, comma, place from original. Okay. Oh, there's an order. I'm trying to insert places into place cuisines, and I haven't populated cuisines yet. See, I'm getting a foreign key constraint. I'm trying to insert a place that's a particular cuisine, and it's not letting me because the cuisine is not in the cuisines table, and that's because the cuisines table hasn't been populated yet. So that's pretty obvious. So let's go back to original and let's populate the cuisines table. Insert into cuisines, select distinct cuisine from original. All right, there we go. Now cuisines is populated. So now we can do place cuisines and campus places. So let's do place cuisines. No, let's go click here. And I'm going to do insert. I'm going to do distinct. It's cuisine, comma, place. And I am inserting into place cuisines this. Go. And now place cuisines is, why is this? Oh yeah, because it links to the cuisines table. All right, and now I just need to do campus places. So let's go here. And I'm gonna select, I'm selecting campus and place distinctly. And I am inserting into campus places. Okay, so now I've got campus. I'm going to go just click here and I see I've got campuses, campus places, cuisines, the original, and place cuisines. So now, all right, so what have I done? I've done part one. I'll leave part two and part three for you to do. Oh, part 2, 3, and 4 for you to do by watching the video. And the video will actually help you out a lot with these. But anyway, so let's go to assignment 7 now. I think we can try to get to that. It's 11:14. Let's see how far we get. Let's do one of these.
The assignment is, the first part is to make this API to search places. And so the idea is you will at the URL, like you do something like, well, okay, let's go back to the file manager. And let's go to where those programs are supposed to be. And I think they're supposed to be this one. I think I was working on this one November 24th. Yes. I'm just going to delete this thing. Delete. Start over again. Okay. All right. So the idea with this assignment is you should be able to go to, for example, this tagged on to the end of your URL. And in this case, my URL is JSCH, this one. And so your program should be right here. So when you go to say this, it will return something that that will display all of the places for the UHM campus that are in this this database here, this bogus database. And those would in fact be, you could see they're in campus places. They're all the ones with UHM. So it should return these five places. So now I give you the starting code for the PHP version, and I also give you the starting code for the Python version. Okay, and you're supposed to implement both of them. And there is a grading assistant helps you test them. Okay, so let's go back to the file manager, and so let's start by creating this file, and then we got to go in and fix it. All right, so let's just, so I'm going to start by copying this, copy, and go to file manager, and I'm at my root, these things, and I'm going to create a new file called search places _ places .php. It's got to be named exactly like that. And now it appears here. So you can see that it appears here, right here, but it's empty. So let's go back here, and I will click on it, and I will edit it. And I will paste in what I just copied. And so this is my starting code. This thing is a, if you click on this, it'll you'll be able to use the whole screen, so you can make sure that's set, click to the right mode. All right, so for this to work, we have to enter in our username and our password. And this is set up to use your cPanel username. Okay, so in my case, it's in my case it's this. In your case, it's yours. Okay, so don't put mine, put yours. So I got to put that here. And you see, this has got to be that because it's used to identify your host, and it's also used to identify your database, which you created in assignment 6, which should be there. And then you got to put in your password. Now, I hope I remember what this password is. I tell you what, I don't remember what it is, but I'm gonna need to change it anyway. So I gotta look it up. I gotta go to over here, and this is Joe Schmo with a C. So it's this one, and so I would put that right here. Oops, right here. Okay, now this is Joe Schmo's password. Okay, so you got to put your password there. Okay, this is a completely made up password, but you see it follows the rule SJ and so on. So so I'm gonna so that's there, and then campus, and these are blank, and this will read in the, this is the assignment here, and it will read in like, for example, this, or it'll read in this, or both of these. See, so that's the name value pairs in the query string. So that's what these things do, and this tests to see if the query string has a value for the name campus, for the name cuisine, and for the name of place. And if it does, it collects them. This connects to the MySQL server. So okay, so we are creating an applications program or interface for people out in the JavaScript world or in the browser world, if they want to access, or some other host computer, and they want to access our database, they can come through HTTP, just like a browser does. That's an application programmer interface. But also, this is the application programmer interface for the PHP programmer interfacing to the MySQL database. Okay, so it's also called an API, but it's a different kind of API. So we're building an API using an API, the two different definitions of the term. All right, so here we've got an SQL statement, which we all know now, and then we're supposed to put in a bunch of code here to see if these work, basically, and to take those variables and incorporate them into the select statement. In other words, the where clause. You got to write code to build the where clause of this select statement. And then this declares a new array. This executes your SQL statement. This PDO thing is this executes the query, and it's going to come back in there. And so here we're fetching one row at a time while there's a row there to fetch. Take that row and push it into this places array, and this places array is going to come back right here in this JSON output. All right, so now this should work with just the plain old select where I'm not specifying anything up here. So because this is a perfectly valid select statement. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to refresh this, and now it's got some size there. Now I should just be able to click on this, and it should come back with something, and lo and behold, it does. We have the message field, the error field, the campaign. Notice these are blank because nothing was there. I can put something there. Why don't I do that so you can see that? Let's do this one. Let's put this there. Copy and go over here and put that. Is it here? It's here. Question mark. Like that. And you can see that these fields are specified, but it doesn't do anything. It's returning the SQL statement. As you can see, this is the first message is the SQL statement that it returns for you. And so we can see that the SQL statement, is still the plain one, the original one. But this is because we included this header saying that we're sending you a JSON file. This browser, which is Firefox, has a special format for JSON. The raw data looks like this. That looks like a JSON object, but if you JSONize it, if you pretty print it, it's going to look like this. This is what our 012 this allows you to index, the places array by an index or by the name the name of the field. See, so that's why these are just repeats. So anyway, that's kind of interesting. All right, so what we need to do is put something in here that's gonna that's gonna do the where thing. I think. All right, I'm gonna leave this here, and I'm gonna go get the Python one to work. What time is it? Okay, so let's get the Python one to work up to this point. And then I'll go in and I'll mess around with the code. I give you the same thing here. I give you the same code. This does the same thing in Python. And here's where you got to add your Python code to build up the select statement, the where clause of the select statement. All right, so I'm going to create another new file called searchplaces.py. And if you don't know Python yet, now you're going to get to learn a little bit of Python. So I'm going to do this search places py. Here we are. And so let's edit it. Now I should tell you that, you know, if you create your file this way, if you go into cPanel and you go into the file manager and you create the file this way and all that, and you start here, you create your Python file here and you start it, you won't have the problem of whether the end of line is just a line feed or a carriage return followed by a line feed. Okay, on some operating systems, a new line is actually a carriage return followed by a line feed, whereas in other systems and systems that Python expects, it's an end of line is just designated by the new line character. It has to do with the old teletype days, where a carriage return would bring the carriage thing back to the beginning, and then the line feed would bring it down one line. Sometimes for teletypes, you wanted to go back and forth, and you wanted to do a carriage return, but you didn't want to do a line feed. Okay, well then when computers came along and in the Unix days and everything, they cut out that extra character that it's all about, you know, being not wasting space. And so if there was a line feed, it was presumed that there would be a carriage return before it. You know, you're not just going to go. So anyway, if you try to run the Python program and you got those carriage returns in there, then it doesn't work. Okay, so and then you have to do something to get rid of the carriage returns, and there's a statement that you can do that, but the way to avoid the problem is just to like start here. All right, so I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to copy this Python code here. Go down to here. Copy, paste. All right, now if you've never fiddled with Python, you know, there's no curly braces. Okay, it's done by indenting. If it's indented, then it's a block. A block has to be all the same indentation. And there's not a lot of examples of that in here, but here's one where you have a for loop, and this is a for loop which goes through all the places in this. It's probably a dictionary, associative array in other languages, and so this is all. So this is the body of the for loop. Once we get back out here again, the for loop's done. Okay, and we're back in the main program. So that's just something you should remember. You got to remember that with Python, because lots of times your errors are indentation errors. You know, it's anyway. So let's try to do the same thing. I'm gonna. Okay, so there's a couple things we have to do. Well, first of all, let's do this. I got to put Joe Schmo in here. You put yours. JSCHMOE, and the password was, what was the password again? Some complicated thing. It's this thing. And then this can be localhost. It can't, localhost doesn't work over in the Python, over in the PHP one. There it is. Over in the PHP one, it's got to be this. This should work in here instead, but this makes it easier. And then you have to make sure that this is set correctly. I guess this should be CHMOE. You could do database equals user user plus in Python, the concatenation of strings is a plus sign. In PHP, the concatenation of strings is a period. So this, do something like this, or just put your full name of your database, which is your full name, which is this whole thing. If you go into your MySQL databases, or if you look in your PHP MyAdmin, you'll see the full name of the database there. That's what you want to. That's what you want to be. That's what you want that to be equal to. Okay, and then in Python, there's a module for everything. So if you want to, if your Python is running on a server and you want to get what's coming in CGI, the name value pairs in the URL, you import this CGI module, and then and this is going to be like in Python it's called a dictionary, but it's like an associative array where you have name value pairs. You know, the name is the key, and the value is the value of the thing. So and for the name of the variable, I'm just using the dumb convention of PHP, and I'm calling it this just because it's like this, you know, it's like this. But of course, you can call it anything. But I'm going to call it this. Why not? And variables can start with an underscore in Python. By the way, all variables start with a $sign in PHP. You're going to be programming. If you go out and you're a programmer and you do anything on the web or anything these days, you're going to be programming in either of these or maybe both of these languages. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing over here where I want to first see if this exists, if there is a name value pair coming in with the name of campus. And so that's what this is. Is there a campus in this request associative array, or in Python it's called a dictionary? Is there a key of campus in the dictionary? If there is, then grab out the value and store that in this variable. I'm making a variable called campus, a variable called cuisine, and a variable called place, just like I do here in PHP. And so that does the same thing. And this is the API, the Python programmer API to the MySQL database. So you import this module here, and this connects you up. And this host is, of course, is this host. And this user is this user, and this password is this password, and so on. Database is database. These are here we're calling a method, and we're using the specifying the names. You know, you can call methods different ways. In Python, you can name them and specify them in really any order, and that's kind of what we're doing here, just so we know what we're doing. This sort of this executes it and sets the cursor equal to the first record. No, this executes it. This sets up a cursor, and then this executes it, and the cursor is equal. Once this executes, the cursor is equal to the first record, and then I think no, this is a pointer to the record, and then this grabs them all and puts them in a array, or a list of records. They don't use the word array in Python. It's a list, or it's a dictionary. But anyway, this fetches up all the records from your select and puts it in here, and this loops through. This creates a record. Okay, so we're building up a JSON. We're building up something that we can send back as a JSON object. So we're building up this table. It's a list because it uses square brackets. Okay, yes, it's a list of dictionary values. This is specifying a dictionary. A dictionary is like an associated array, so it's name value. A list is just you index the records of the list. So it's a table, an array of these records, and the records are going to be campus equals something, place equals something, and cuisine equals something. And then that's appended onto the table. This is how you add something to an array in Python. You use the append method, and we're appending on this smaller array that's got name value pairs into this list, which we're calling table, and then that's going to be sent back. So the return JSON object is going to look the same as it did in the PHP. All right, now I don't think this is going to work yet. Let me save the changes, and the first thing I'm going to do is okay, you got to make sure you do this. For search places, you got to make sure, let me refresh this to make sure we got something there. Okay, we got something there. And this has got to be executable. We have to make this file executable. Right now, the execute bit is not set. So I'm going to click on this thing and I'm going to do a right click and I'm going to do change permissions. And I want the execute bit to be set for the user, for the group, for the world. So execute bit set, execute bit set, execute bit set. And so we see it's going to change to 755 from 644. So I'm going to change permissions. And now we see it's 755. Now for some reason, you don't have to do that with the PHP, but for Python, you do. Okay, now I'm going to see if it runs. It'll be amazing. Let me go back to here, and I should refresh this, and I should see the PY. Let me click on this. Oh my God, it worked. Okay, see, it comes back, look, doing the same kind of thing. Comes back the same. I'd like to just show you quickly. Let's go back to the main cPanel. You can always go down to the bottom here and click on Terminal. I'm going to open it up in a new link. And this terminal thing opens up. And if you're having problems finding your errors, you can run both these programs from the terminal. First of all, let's see where we are. This is your home directory, and we want to go into public HTML. So cd public HTML. And now we can do see what the files are, and we see that these are the two files that we're talking about. So we can do PHP search places.php, and lo and behold, look what comes back. You know, the JSON thing, and then we can also do Python 3 space search places.py, and we get back, lo and behold. I don't know why this didn't print out the opening JSON. Okay, so anyway, and this actually, this prints out, and here we have also the same thing, methinks. Okay, well, anyway, so you can always do that, and this is especially useful when you're over here and you're clicking on these things and you're getting server error, 500 server error, and you don't know what's going on, and you go over to your file manager and you hit refresh, and oh, there might be an error log, but there. When I was recording the other thing, I was getting these errors. I was trying to be fancy, and I was messing around with the Python. Well, I was messing around with one of them. I was changing it from what I said in the directions, and I ended up getting messed up. But anyway, so sometimes there's an error log, and by the way, let's see what this looks like. This is from last week. So I was getting these errors. PHP network get addresses. I think it's because I was calling the local host. I was trying to use localhost with the PDO API. And for the PDO, I was trying to, my error last week was I was trying to use localhost right there. And when it came to doing this, it didn't like it. And I had already gone through this big explanation of why you can use localhost instead of that. You know, you can use localhost here. And there's this other API to MySQL from PHP that I use that's a lot more popular, I think. And with that API, you know, it's not PDO, it's another one. And with that one, you're able to use localhost. But in this class for this assignment, I'm using PDO. Why? Because the textbook explains PDO. The one chapter in the textbook that talks about these two interfaces. There's a chapter in the textbook that talks about these two interfaces. It's PDO, so that's why I did that. Anyway, and it's good to learn new stuff. So so now we have these two. It's only 10 o'clock. Now we have these two things that sort of work, and we gotta add in. We have to add in code here so we can, if we want to restrict or you know, if we want to display only some cuisines, some campus cuisines, you know, we add a where clause, and so that's got to be built on the end of this. In Python, no, this is more in PHP. Let's maybe go to Python. That might be newer to people. You go like, okay, so all right, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to create a new variable called where, okay, and I'm going to set it equal to nothing, okay, and then I'm going to do if campus I'm going to do this. If the length of campus is greater than 0, then, and see, it knows that it's Python. It knows to indent automatically. Then where equals, now I'm going to do it this way, where I'm going to say, or where equals where plus, and I'm building up a where clause. So I'm going to say, so it's going to start with and campus, that's capitalized, equals, ooh, I got to be putting some single quotes in here, don't I? So I'm going to make this a double quote. By the way, there's absolutely no difference between single quotes and double quotes in Python. In other languages, there is, you know, if you use double quotes, it does some interpreting stuff. If it's single quotes, it's exactly like what it said there and stuff. But in Python, they're both exactly the same. So you can just alternate if you need to. And so I'm going to do plus sign because in SQL, it's got to be single quotes. And so then I'm going to end that, and I'm going to add to this the value of campus, which is this lowercase thing. Plus, then I'm going to start with my double quote again, and I got to stick in a single quote to end the quote. And by the way, we're going to see what the SQL statement looks like because we pass it back, don't we? Yes, we do. So I think that's the end of this. Okay. And I'll do this for campus, and I'll do it for cuisine. If the length of cuisine is greater than 0, then we're going to do the same thing. Where equals where plus and cuisine equals single quote, double quote, plus cuisine plus double quote, single quote, double quote. All right, now I will leave place for you to add, but I just want to show you what I'm doing here, because it may be funny, because what's going to happen is it's going to return something. Let me, it's hard to display this out, but right now, if there is something for campus, and or there is something with cuisine, the where clause is going to start out with the word and. Now, of course, in the very first part of the where clause, we don't want that. Well, okay. Let me finish this. Okay, let me finish this. Okay, so we're down here. I'm going to go back out here because I'm done with the if. I'm done with the if, so I come back out here, done with that if. I'm going to say if the length of where is greater than 0, okay, that means at least one of them was specified. Then I have to remove the and before I attach it to the SQL. Okay, so then I can do it this way. If that's true, then SQL equals SQL plus, and then I can't just do where, I got to hack off this, and this. I got to hack off the first and. It's okay if I have spaces in there, but in fact, it might be good to have a space in there. But I need to hack off those first 4 letters. Now, how do you do that in Python? Well, you do this. You do. I don't want the entire where string. I just want this where string from starting from index number 4, which is this is index 0, 1, 2, 3. So starting with 4 all the way to the end. Now, colon, and since I'm going all the way to the end, I don't have to put anything. Okay. So this is how you indicate that you want the where clause starting with the index with the 4th character and then all the rest. Okay. Now I'm gonna save this, and I'm going to run it to see if it works just plainly, see if there's any errors. Okay, good, there's no errors. So now I'm going to try to put, I fixed it for campus and cuisine. So let me do a campus one. I'm going to do question mark campus equals UHM, enter, and it doesn't work. Now, why wouldn't it? We don't see an error here. I'm going to go back. This is good. I like it when there's errors. So there must have been something funny with the where clause. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to say, SQL2 equals that. Okay, this is just for testing. Okay, I'm going to say SQL2 equals nothing. And I'm going to say if the where clause is greater than 0, then I want to make SQL2 equal to what SQL should be. It's going to go ahead and execute the same SQL as up here, but but then I want to display back SQL2. You see what I'm doing? I'm just throwing this in there for testing. And so I'm going to save these changes because I want to see what the SQL statement is. So and to do that, the message has to be, okay, you see this? Here's my SQL statement. I forgot the word where, okay? It should be where campus equals UHM. Silly me. Okay, so let's go back to here. And if this is true, then I want to do plus where there plus. Okay, There we go. I've injected the word where in there. And now when I go back over here and I refresh this, there, place cuisines, where campus equals that. So let's actually activate that. And so I'm going to take this out, and this doesn't matter anymore. In fact, I'm just going to delete it because I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to take this out because I want to see. So now we can just pass back the original SQL statement. But now the SQL statement should work, okay, with the where and everything. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to hit refresh. And lo and behold, what is returned is just the places on the UHM campus. All right, so you can finish this. Let's go to the PHP one, and let's put in the same logic. I'm going to put in some different logic, okay? Because there's lots of ways we can do this where thing, okay? Here what we did was we built up the where part, and then it's possible that the where part is still going to be empty, because if the query string that comes in has no name value pairs, in other words, if it's just without anything, then the where is still going to be equal to nothing, and then nothing is added on to the SQL. But if there is a where, then we not only have to inject or insert the word where, but then we have to remove the initial A and D. Okay. So this is sort of and by the way, in Python, of course, you don't need to do where equals where plus. You can do where, you can do this plus equals thing, just like you can in every other language. Okay, so that works. Same thing. Okay. In my introductory classes, though, I like to do this because this is just one more thing to confuse people. But you guys are all, this is upper division, you guys, this should be all old hat to you, should make sense to you and everything. Okay, so let's do this one, and I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to do a simpler way, okay? And you can actually do this way in the other one too, but so I need to add, if there's something there or something there or something there, I got to add it on. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say first I'm going to say SQL equals SQL plus, I'm going to just put the where on right now, where 1, okay, or true, and basically it's true. Now it's going to be followed by a bunch of ands, and so any one of those ands can make it false. But if there's no ands that follow, then this is just saying where true, and so this is redundant. It's unnecessary, but it doesn't mess anything up. What this does is this allows us to concatenate a bunch of ands if we want to, and that's what we want to do. So first I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to say if and I think I have to do this. If campus is greater than nothing, then I can just do SQL. Now, see, I'm doing if this way. Of course, in PHP, you can do this. You can do the curly if you want to, and it indents like that. And I can say SQL dot equals and campus equals single quote oh no, I don't need to do that. I don't need to end it because I can just do this campus. Oops. And I got a semicolon there. So if campus is, if there's something in campus, then stick and campus equals that. And of course, I don't have to use the curly braces. I'm just putting the curly braces in there just to reinforce the fact that you can't put the curly braces in there when something's wrong. Oh, I got to put a semicolon there. There we go. All right, so that takes care of campus. We can do cuisine. So we can do cuisine. Or something cuisine. Ooh, this has got to be capital campus. The field names are capital campus. Oh, and this is going to be cuisine equals cuisine. Okay, so that's how simple it is in PHP. Of course, you don't have to have these curlies. You can just stick that at the end of that, just like we do up here. We stick that at the end. But I just wanted to let you know. Point out, you can do this. If you want to have more inside the block of the if, you just put them there. PHP is separate. The end of a statement is has to be followed by a semicolon. Not true in Python. It's a new line. A new line is like the end is like a semicolon, and indentation is like putting curly braces around a block. All right, so this should work. Let's see what this looks like when we run this. Okay, that's fine. But notice this is added on here. It's okay. Doesn't do anything. Let's put question mark that. Campus and cuisine. We specify both those. So let's see what this looks like. Oh, look. Campus play where one and campus equals UHM and cuisine equals Italian. And what we get back is the favorite Italian place at UHM. I don't know if this is true or not, but I don't even know if that place exists anymore. But anyway, that's it. That's a good Italian restaurant. I like that Italian restaurant. Okay. So what we have done here is I've shown you a couple of different approaches to building up this where clause, and I think I got both these things to work for you. Let's see so that's those two assignments. Adding a place is going to be using your add place stored procedure that you create in assignment 6. And here is, we're getting fancier here. We were using this binding thing. This is another way that you can build up a where clause, but I like the manual way better. This is how you, instead of building up, you can build up your call to your add place just like we build up the where clause, but this is another way of doing it, using this PDO API. This is in PHP, and you can just follow along here. I think this is everything. I don't think I leave anything out in this one. You got to still put that in there, and then I don't give you the place. I don't give you the Python for the place, do I? I better do that in another lecture. Let's see. This is removing place. Here, all we're doing is we're deleting. We're executing the delete statement. And do I give you the Python for that? I don't. Let's see. Oh, wait, this is Python. This is the Python. I give you the Python. I don't give you the PHP. Okay, that's great. Oh, what is this? Oh, I have a try catch in here, don't I? That's pretty smart. Okay, well, anyway, I think I'm going to leave that leave it here. I think in a later video, I may go in and help you out. I have to, I give you the PHP and you have to write the Python. And I give you the, in this case, I give you the Python and you have to write the PHP. I'll cover that in another video. So with this video, I'm going to attach the previous video that I had, which covers how to make food, how to quickly build up a database so you can start this assignment. So I hope this helps. See you next time. Thanks for watching.